We are wrapping up 2023, an extremely busy year for healthcare and coverage. Many of the changes of the last year can be attributed to the end of the COVID pandemic protections that were in place that impacted both the cost and access to healthcare and coverage, as well as some of the other social determinants of health, the cost of housing, food, childcare, etc. We're going to do a quick rundown of some of the key highlights of 2023 and end with a couple things to watch for 2024. Our first highlight for 2023 is when we're actually still in. It is a historic open enrollment period on the Affordable Care Act's private health insurance marketplace, healthcare.gov. As of December 15th, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services tells us over 15 million people have enrolled in a health plan for 2024. That's an over 33% increase over last year at the same time. They project even more will find their way to the marketplace before the open enrollment period ends in the middle of January, something like 19 million enrollees. We also know that healthcare and coverage is more affordable in the marketplace thanks to protections of the Inflation Reduction Act. Highlight number 4 is a spotlight placed on nonprofit hospitals. We talk a lot about uncompensated care, bad debt, and charity care that we see in Wisconsin hospitals and across the United States. That's one measure of the level of uninsurance of patients, but also a measure of if nonprofit hospitals are paying their fair share. Are they contributing to a community benefit? Congress has actually started to pay attention and is starting to issue guidelines and some recommendations for hospitals to make sure that they're getting that value of that tax-exempt status. Number 3, some medical debt protections. Medical debt negatively affects many Americans. Kaiser Family Foundation said as many as 100 million Americans are burdened by medical debt and some collections actions. And despite the pervasiveness of debt across the United States, there aren't too many federal protections on the books. That started to change in 2023 as the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced actions to protect consumers from junk health plans, surprise medical bills, and excess costs that lead to medical debt. Number 2, the end of the public health emergency. Both the COVID national emergency and the public health emergency came to a close earlier this year. That meant changes to many programs and protections, financial assistance programs, regulations, funding for states, and protections for consumers as the vaccines move their way to the commercial market. We also saw the start of Medicaid Unwinding, and that is our top highlight of 2023. Congress set April 1st as the end of continuous coverage in Medicaid, one of the key protections during the COVID pandemic to make sure people didn't suddenly become uninsured. States can take their time unwinding those people that were held in eligibility. Many states have moved quite quickly. In fact, nationwide, 13.4 million Medicaid enrollees have already been terminated in this process. 71% for procedural reasons, 37% are kids. Medicaid unwinding continues in the state of Wisconsin through May of 2024. Let's talk about other things to watch for 2024. We've got some protections for kids starting January 1st across the United States. Continuous coverage for kids under the age of 19 in the state of Wisconsin to make sure that even if their income fluctuates or other circumstances change, we're not dropping those kids from their health care and coverage. There are enhancements to Medicare coming, changes that expand care and make both prescriptions and coverage more affordable. We also see some attention being placed on the Social Security Administration to clean up some of their overpayment actions and customer service disputes. There's also continued cost savings in the Affordable Care Act's marketplace thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act and some expanded behavioral health care access and much more. But there is also more to do. We will keep you posted here on this channel. And thanks for watching in 2023.